As we're coming now towards the end of our first day of retreat, you may have noticed some times during the day when, like Liz was describing earlier, the mind seems to go looking after something. It's not so much that something comes and gets us, it's that we go look for it. And the kind of space that we make when we make retreat space with the silence, with the letting go of all of our usual occupations, or most of them, it's a really good context for noticing how the mind does that. I think it does it all the time, but it's kind of buried under the, it's like you don't notice the air because it's the air. We don't notice the mind going, what's next? What do I want? What do I need to be? What do I need to go out and get? Until there's space, and then it's really can be really quite striking. So this is where practices come in so very handy, because they give us something else to do. Right? This is like what the skillful choices, the skillful actions. It's not an absence of choice. It's we're trying to make skillful ones. So all the practices we've been working with today have been about that in different ways. Choices that help the mind to let go a bit, calm a bit, have a bit more ease, a bit more wisdom, understanding. So the language all throughout the discourses of practice is that they are the abiding, the days abiding. The monks and nuns go in their alms round, and then they clean up and have their days abiding, their day of practice. So we've been doing that today. We've been dwelling in breath meditation, contemplation on sense restraint, and on how our actions can help us have positive, happy feelings when we feel good about what we do and say. So these are all places to abide, places to give the mind to live, besides this just kind of constant stirring up of not enoughness. There's something missing and I gotta go find it or create it. Anyway, so it's handy to have things to go create and find and work with that help us let go a bit, suffer less, and get more skillful. It's the developing the mind thing. So that's where one of the places that the Four Brahmaviharas come in, and of course it's right there in the name of the practices, the Divine Abidings, the abidings with Brahma, and there are 4 of them. So I'm going to guide some practice for the next 40 minutes or so that will be familiar to you in a lot of ways, and really inviting the mind to do that, to live here in the space of extending these very skillful mind states in a boundless, immeasurable way. So the mind is totally immersed in each 4 of these states. So just for beginning, just closing the eyes if you like. Just checking the posture, or arriving in the body a little bit more. being a person sitting. Inviting that dual quality of alertness and energy, as well as ease, relaxation. Aware of the breath. Letting the breath soothe and support. The first of the four Brahmaviharas is, the Pali word is metta, goodwill, benevolence, love. It means all of these. It's a very pure kind of love without grasping. Without desire to get something in the way of sense pleasure. This is love that freely gives. So to begin cultivating this quality of love in the mind, we offer goodwill towards ourselves, using whatever phrases work for that for you. We'll just use an example for this practice, but feel free to vary this as you need. To cultivate metta, we offer these good wishes silently and clearly in the mind. May I be safe, well and happy. Repeating the phrases again and again. May I be safe, well and happy. And staying with the words, not with any kind of strain or tension, with persistence, with energy. We mean these words. May I be safe, well, and happy. Understanding that in the same way that I wish to be happy, so does everybody else. So do all beings, in whatever condition, in whatever state. That wish to be happy is common for all creatures, for all beings. With that understanding, extending the metta to include all beings, and wishing, may all beings, and this includes ourselves, be safe, well, and happy. And this is where we abide in offering these good wishes. This is the practice. To live here in this space in the mind, wishing may all beings be safe, well and happy. The passage in the numerical discourses describes our practice that we're working with right now in this way. A person meditates, spreading a heart full of love to one direction and to the second. They spread a heart full of love to the third and to the fourth. In the same way, above, below, across, everywhere, all around, they spread a heart full of love to the whole world, abundant, expansive, limitless, free of enmity and ill will. They enjoy this and like it and find it satisfying. They abide in that, are committed to it, and meditate on it often without losing it. When a mind and a heart have cultivated and developed this quality of love, of goodwill, and that person encounters some form of suffering, either their own or that of another, the natural inclination is to meet that experience with that goodwill. When love and goodwill meet suffering, the natural response is compassion. Without any kind of aversion or pushing away, nothing like pity. Compassion is love, meeting suffering. And so we can practice bringing to mind someone or something that we're aware of that is currently or has recently been having some occasion for suffering. It may be an individual or a group. It may be a person or another kind of being. You just bring to mind now some being that you connect with in an awareness of their suffering, including yourself. It's one possibility. And get a clear sense of them as they are suffering. And offering good wishes in that suffering. May you be safe, well, and happy. Perhaps they're not any of those things right now, but this is what we wish. This is what our heart develops the capacity to offer. This care, this recognition that suffering is present, this not turning away. We see it, we acknowledge it, and we offer good wishes. May you be safe, well, and happy. In this way, a person meditates, spreading a heart full of compassion, spreading to one direction, into the second, into the third, and to the fourth. In the same way above, below, across, everywhere, all around. They spread a heart full of compassion to the whole world. Abundant, expansive, limitless, free of enmity and ill will. They enjoy this and like it and find it satisfying. They abide in that, are committed to it, and meditate on it often without losing it. The third Brahmavihara, the third divine abiding, the Pali word for this is mudita, rejoicing. As compassion arises when the heart full of love meets suffering, so rejoicing arises when the heart that's full and inclined towards love meets causes for true happiness, either for ourselves or for others. So earlier today we heard about some friends in our group who are finding happiness with their ethical training work. And we could hear their happiness. And for those of us who were sharing it, we could feel our own happiness. And the rejoicing that comes at times like that, this is what mudita is about. We may experience rejoicing for other kinds of happiness, more sense-based or worldly kind of happiness, of course. You know, seeing my grandson playing at the swimming pool, there's nothing happier really, except, of course, there's always the awareness it's going to change. Whereas what we're building when we develop our ethical speech and actions, that happiness has a more enduring kind of quality to it. Doesn't depend on so many causes and conditions staying the same. So when we meet with a cause for rejoicing, and we offer the same good wishes, the feeling that accompanies those good wishes is mudita, is rejoicing. This is the typical way that people in the early discourses are described as responding to teachings from the Buddha. They rejoice in them. It's a strong word. So, connecting in some way with an awareness of either your own causes for happiness or those of others, times when you have been aware of that going on with someone, and bringing that being to mind, being there with them in that happiness, rejoicing in that happiness. May you be safe, well, and happy, offering all the goodwill. A person meditates, spreading a heart full of rejoicing to one direction, and to the second, and to the third and the fourth, In the same way, above, below, everywhere, all around, they spread a heart full of rejoicing in the whole world, abundant, expansive, limitless, free of enmity and ill will. They enjoy this and like it and find it satisfying. They abide in that, are committed to it, and meditate on it often without losing it. The fourth divine abiding is that of equanimity. Beginning with a mind and heart that have cultivated goodwill. And that's our starting point. When we develop wisdom, that with the goodwill is what yields equanimity. Especially equanimity involves this understanding of karma, that no matter what our wishes are for others or for ourselves, it's our actions that are going to decide how we fare. Our actions alone determine what we inherit, what we're the heirs to. So when we wish the good wishes, and we offer those with the understanding that what's going to actually happen is going to be dependent on the actions of the one that gets the results, no matter how strong our love. We're not in control there. And still, we offer the good wishes with equanimity. A person meditates, spreading a heart full of equanimity to one direction, and to the second, and to the third, and to the fourth. In the same way above, below, across, everywhere, all around. You spread a heart full of equanimity to the whole world. Abundant, expansive, limitless, free of enmity and ill will. They enjoy this and like it and find it satisfying. They abide in that, are committed to it, and meditate on it often without losing it.